you, are you going to be serving your limiting beliefs, or are you actually going to go out of your way and switch onto your higher self way of thinking? Something that a lot of my clients always ask me is, how do I actually manifest changes in my life? Now, there's so much information online about the techniques you have to use, the mindset tips, the advice and everything, that you should be doing this, you should be doing that about manifesting, but no one actually tells you the step-by-step instructions of what actually needs to be done. The thing is, what needs to be done is entirely subjective to everyone. Everyone has their own path in life. Everyone has their own issues, their own karma to deal with. So the path to manifesting, or changing your reality substantially, is always going to be different. There is never going to be this same equal path that two people can follow that's going to lead to the same exact results, because some people are going to struggle a little bit more in one area of life, while other people are going to struggle in a completely different area of life. And these two different people have completely different kinds of karma, and manifesting the same thing is not going to be equal to them. It's going to be completely different. It's almost as if it's going to hold a completely different weight in their life. And with manifesting, the most important thing that you actually have to do is go deeper inside of your mindset, go deeper inside of your head. Everything that blocks you from living this life that you truly deserve to be living, it's in your head. It's all about your personal beliefs. It's all about these beliefs, the self-concept that you have. It's like, if you see yourself as not worthy, you're not going to be able to manifest anything that is actually, let's say, worth it and has a substantial weight to it. So it's like, for example, you're trying to manifest money, but you're still stuck in a shitty scarcity mindset. You're still stuck overthinking the tiny little purchases that you make. And whenever you pull out your card or you're trying to go on Apple Pay, your hand is shaking and you don't know what to do. How is this kind of vibe going to attract money to you? How is this kind of reality that you are living in going to attract something which is way up here, but you're down here? You can't. And the only thing that needs to change is your own beliefs about yourself. It's your own programming. And all of that has to do with your subconscious mind. All of that has to do with the beliefs that you have created, because your subconscious mind is like this protector, right? Think about it like this guide, this protector that stands in your way. So it's like your childhood was a specific kind of way, and because of your childhood, because of your past life karma, because of all of that, this protector grew specific characteristics. And according to this childhood, according to this programming, as soon as there is anything outside of the ordinary in your life, this protector is going to be like, hey, you should not do that. This is too much. This is not like you. We need to go back to what is comfortable. Let's go back to this scarcity mindset, because we've lived this way our whole entire life. Let's go back there. And of course, you're going to listen to that, because this protector is like this strong, bulky man that's protecting you. But in order to actually manifest changes in your life, you have to get rid of that protector. You have to completely wipe out its entire history, its entire belief system. And the only way that you do that is by raising your standards, and it's by raising your comfort level. This is entirely about you convincing yourself, making yourself believe on a conscious and a subconscious level that the reality you have right now doesn't really align. And it's not about making you feel bad. It's not about you sort of giving up and saying, oh my God, I hate my life, I'm not gonna do this anymore. That kind of hatred, this kind of negative mindset is not going to bring about actual aligned changes, because no matter the kind of changes that you create, the reason you created them is because you had this hatred. It's because you had this feeling of giving up. So if you want to actually create changes that are going to last, this is about the baby steps. This is about the small, tiny little steps that you take every single day that are more in alignment with the reality that you want to be living in. This is why I always tell my clients to envision this higher self version of them. So for example, my higher self is going to be me, but I'm way more confident. I can speak out very easily. I'm very blunt, I'm very honest, and I'm comfortable saying no, right? This is my higher self. My higher self is also extremely convinced that everything happens for a massive reason. The more I begin practicing, acting, becoming my higher self, so thinking in the moment, so a problem occurs and I'm like, okay, there's this problem. It's horrible. The protector, the subconscious mind is going to be like, go back to the comfort zone. You know, it's easier there. It's better there. But my higher self is like, well, everything works out for a reason. You just need to get up again, try again, assert your boundaries, and move on with your life, because you're not going to be affected by whatever tiny little things are happening. It is up to you in that moment to make a choice. Are you going to be serving your limiting beliefs, your protector, your subconscious mind, or are you actually going to go out of your way and switch onto your higher self way of thinking? And this switch is hard. It is hard, but manifesting is easy, right? It is easy because you can easily make the switch when you realize, what is it that you actually deserve? Do you deserve to be living a life where you are limited by your own beliefs? You are limited by this weird protector that stands in your way from achieving your actual dreamlike goals, right? It is your choice which one you're going to serve. It's always a choice. And this choice starts the minute that you wake up. This choice starts the minute that you roll out of bed, you step onto the ground, and you decide for yourself, okay, am I going to continue scrolling on my couch on TikTok for the next hour? Or am I going to get up, get started with my day, do some work, move on, go to the gym, go on a run, whatever. It's a choice. What choice is your higher self going to make in the moment? And the more you serve your higher self and you make these choices according to your higher self, you're going to become it. You are going to create this reality that is already on the next level, right? The whole goal is for you to go from here up until here and raise your standards, raise the way that you are living your life. And this is about raising the standards on the smallest, tiniest little things. It's like you go shopping, for example, and do you believe immediately that everything you see, oh my God, this is too expensive, I can't pay this much for this, or no, I don't deserve it. If you're living in this mindset of scarcity, of lack, of feeling insecure about the smallest, tiniest little things, then this is the reality that you're going to be creating. But if you go outside, and like I said, you step out of your bed in the morning, making a choice to serve your higher self. If you go out into the world, doing your ordinary normal things, and you shift your thinking into believing something more of yourself, raising your standards, feeling a little bit more confident with anything, you're going to begin creating that life. And this is a life that is created over time. This is not like a switch that you can just randomly make overnight. And this is where, this whole theme of quantum leaping, I completely disagree with it. I completely disagree with it, because if you think that quantum leaping and leaping into this new reality that aligns with you so much more, where you're abundant, you're a millionaire, living on a villa or whatever, trying to create that overnight, for example, your subconscious mind, your protector, is still going to be there. Your subconscious mind is still going to be absolutely terrified, because any kind of sudden change is going to be felt on a much deeper level. And for you, it's important that you learn how to get comfortable with this protector that you have, that you learn how to work with it, that you learn how to calm him down so that he steps away a little bit, and then you can begin acting as your higher self. So it's much easier to manifest changes, and manifesting becomes easy when you learn how to listen and become your higher self. Now, this is where you begin trusting your intuition. This is where you begin trusting yourself on such a deep level that you're like, yeah, I deserve more. I can achieve more. And this is about convincing, like I said, it's about convincing your conscious and subconscious mind. So it's not about you, for example, doing 1 million affirmations per day and telling yourself that, I'm confident, I'm amazing, I can do this, I'm smart. That is not enough, because that is just you trying to affirm something. But if your subconscious mind, if your protector is like, well, you know what, in your childhood, you were bullied and people called you ugly, let's stick to those beliefs. And you're like, oh my God, yes, in my childhood, I was bullied. I was hurt. That is who I am now. That is the version of me that I'm going to become. And I'm going to stay that version, because that's the only thing I know. The subconscious mind is still going to prevent you from truly showing up as authentically as possible according to your higher self. So you need to learn how to work with the subconscious beliefs, to shift them, to get comfortable with them, and realize them as a completely different version of you. There's this version of you that you are right now. This is the reality that you're living in right now. It is shaped by all of these limiting beliefs about all of these problems, about all of this trauma, whatever. But there also exists a different reality. There also exists a different potential that you can step into, but you step into it over time. You step into it day by day by making newer, better choices that align with your higher self. So if you wake up one day and you're like, oh my God, tomorrow I'm going to manifest $1 million. Okay. But you actually need to put in the work for that. You actually need to convince this subconscious mind, this protector of yours, that it is safe. It is okay to do this. And safety is something that is created in so many different aspects in your life, in your beliefs. It can be safety around feeling comfortable. It can be safety around speaking up about yourself. It can be safety with earning money for yourself and being authentic. There's so many different kinds of safety that need to be, first of all, established so that you feel confident and safe on a subconscious level. And then on a conscious level, you're like, yeah, I know, I can do this. You can make a choice to show up every single day just a little bit better. Just make more choices that are actually going to serve you. And this shouldn't be making you feel bad that you're making bad choices, right? This shouldn't make you feel like you need to suppress all of your negative emotions because you're sensitive or whatever. I'm all for crying. I'm all for being an emotional mess. This is a completely safe and normal self-expression. But you also need to shift how you see these things. If you're seeing yourself as crying and exploding with your emotions as a negative thing, then it's always going to be a negative thing. There's always going to be this guilt, this shame about expressing yourself fully. But if you want to begin showing up as your higher self, you also need to ask yourself, how is your higher self going to act in the moment of self-expression, in the moment of showing up your emotions? Is your higher self going to end up sort of crawling into a little cave and crying there? Or is your higher self going to realize that, you know what, yeah, emotions are safe. I can express them. I can show up as myself. You know, it's safe to cry. It's safe to, do all of that. You need to ask yourself once again, what is your higher self going to do? And I guarantee you, your higher self is not going to tell you, suck it up. Your higher self is not going to be like that. Your higher self is going to want the best for you. Your higher self is always going to try to make sure that you feel the best about yourself. If you have been trying to change your life, if you have been trying to change everything in your life because you've gotten fed up of the way that your life is right now, this sort of feeling of being fed up and annoyed, that is not the kind of feeling that is needed for you to manifest more. It's more important that you approach it with gratitude, with this understanding that, you know what, yeah, this is my life right now, but you know what? I can get better. It can be more because I deserve it. I can create it and I will create it bit by bit, day by day, but it's also about genuinely being happy for what you have, for the steps that got you here. It's not about you looking at your past, at your childhood, and complaining and crying about how horrible everything was, because it got you here. It got you to this moment where you decided to take control. It got you to this moment where you got so fed up and so tired that you decided to try a new approach. Getting fed up and tired is sort of like step one. Step two is about actually being grateful for where you are in your life right now and all the steps that got you here. It's extremely important that you allow yourself to shift the narrative, to shift towards your higher self way of thinking. And once you do that, that's when you begin manifesting. That's when you become this energetic match for anything and everything that you're trying to create. So manifesting does not have to be hard. It's this combination of daily tiny little steps that you take that serve this better version of you. It's about developing a sense of safety with everything that you have right now, everything that you have gone through, and working with your subconscious mind to actually feel confident, to feel safe, to feel like it's okay, to give yourself this permission to go out there for more. But you can only give yourself this permission to achieve more. If you're always looking for everyone else's advice, everyone else's opinions, you're likely looking for their permission, for them to say to you that, like, you know what, yeah, you can do this. You're allowed to do this. But that is you constantly waiting for the approval of other people. Get your higher self's approval. Get the approval of your higher self that it is okay to want more. It is okay to go after more. It is okay for you to decide that enough is enough and you will have more. This should come from within. And your higher self, your subconscious mind, it's all within you. So the only way to manifest is by working with yourself. It's by getting to know yourself on a much deeper level, to work with your subconscious mind, to work with your body, to combine everything into one. And if this is a journey that you have been on and you possibly need some guidance, then I'm here for you. I'm here to support you. I want to see you grow. I want to help you as much as possible. This is why I decided to overcome my own fear today. I decided to actually listen to my higher self and record this video. Because filming long form content is something that I've been panicking, stressing over for the longest amount of time. But I decided that enough is enough. And I got comfortable with that. I got comfortable noticing and realizing that, I'm wasting my time, wasting my potential when I could be reaching so many more people and helping other people with my advice. And, I'm grateful. I'm grateful for the fact that it took me so long to do this. Because in the time where I was delaying it, in the time where I was thinking about it and overthinking it, I was learning massive lessons. I was overcoming other kinds of karma that I needed to go through first before I gave myself the permission to do this. Sometimes the permission can be as simple as seeing other people do something. Sometimes the permission comes from within, where you're like, you know what, yeah, I allow myself to do this, or you get it from your higher self, you visualize it, whatever. There is something that you have been trying to manifest for the longest amount of time and something has been blocking you. Let me give you this permission that you do deserve more. You can create more. You're allowed to. You just need to believe it yourself and make this choice every single day to serve your higher self, to serve this version of you that is much bigger than you believe it. And I hope to see you in my next video, or yeah.